Hey everyone, and welcome to another reading. Today we are going to find out what message or messages the universe or spirit or your ancestors have for you. So all you have to do is pick one of these three small little pine trees. The timestamps will be down in the description box, so I'll see you in your reading. Hello group 1, and welcome to your reading. So let's see what messages they have for you. Okay, so for you guys, your message here is something regarding a sort of new start, a fresh new beginning. Perhaps some of you will be traveling, possibly especially for the holiday season, maybe to go see your relatives, your family. Some of you, there is a completion. Maybe you've been searching for something which has led you to different locations or different belief systems, right? Maybe you've been jumping from one thing to another, but this return card here tells me that the message for you is that something that you're seeking is actually something you've had all along, right? So you know how people think that the grass is greener on the other side, and when they test it out, when they go out there and see life for themselves, they end up realizing that everything they needed was always at home or with the people they wanted to escape from. And I'm not saying like if there was like abuse of any kind, but just sometimes you get bored of being around maybe family or certain people, friends, I don't know. And then when you go out there and you come across people who may be worse than those you knew, you start to realize that you're actually grateful for what you actually had or have in your life, right? So sometimes we have to travel and experience things to realize that where we came from was actually the very thing that we need, or that we should feel grateful for, right? So there's a completion and a return here, as well as a reunion. So maybe returning back to something familiar to you, like any aspect of your life, whether it's home life, career, whatever it is. And with this unleashing creativity card, for some of you the message is to to go back to your creativity. Maybe you abandoned it for something that you thought was better, but instead you found that it's more soul draining, or maybe the money isn't worth what it's doing to your health, right? Physically or mentally. With your moon cards here, you have balance, spirituality, and practicality, and a new start is coming. So maybe this return, right? Maybe you did a 360, but because returning back to what you once had, it's not going to be the same as it was before, because now you experienced so much more, right? In other areas. So when you return, you're coming back with a fresh perspective and new things that you may have learned along the way, lessons or skills or whatever it is. So now when you come back to it, it's not going to be maybe as hard or boring or repetitive as it once was, right? Because now you grew, right? You advanced in whatever area this is. So a balance is required in order for things to work out. Maybe before you stuck to this one thing and it drained you a lot, so that's why you moved on. But try to balance the inner and outer world, right? You can't just work, work, work and not have a break and have some fun, because then you're going to burn yourself out. Same way, you can't constantly be having fun and not work, because then you're not going to make it, right? So you need a balance of both. So try to, if this is about your creativity, go back to your creative ways. Maybe you learned something by now. Maybe your skills improved by some course you took or school that you went to, or even maybe through YouTube videos or online courses, whether they're free or paid. But maybe you improved in some way. So don't be afraid to try to tackle that and get into it more. But remember that balance is always key. And this all leads to a new beginning, a fresh new start. Maybe it'll boost your sales, right? Because through this creative ways that you now have, these skills that you have, maybe you'll be able to sell something or offer commissions. So this, what maybe this message for you, what could be coming is possibly a partnership in some way, maybe through your creativity or through this reunion or coming back to, reuniting with family or friends, for the holidays. Maybe you come across a new companion or a partnership, maybe career-wise, right? So this could lead to potential in growing your business or leveling up in some way, right, in the physical world. You have cups, pentacles, swords, and wands. So this literally is a completion. Maybe you guys, some of you maybe are complete, but you think you're lacking because of your own wants and desires. But if you step back and maybe count your blessings and see where you're at, you'll realize that you're actually in a better spot than you thought you were. Right? It's the ego, it's the mind that keeps wanting more and more, right? But if you just took a moment to see where you are, right? Do you have a roof over your head? Are you safe? Do you have clothes on your back? Do you have food in your fridge? Do you have at least a friend you can talk to? Family or someone, some kind of support system, right? I'm pretty sure that if you actually took a step back and looked at everything, you'll see that there's a lot you actually can be grateful for. And being grateful unleashes this unleashes a frequency in you that allows more to come into your life, because the universe responds to it, right? So by feeling grateful, you're actually opening a doorway where you're saying to the universe, I'm happy with what I have. And because of that, the universe keeps giving you that feeling through opportunities. Then you'll always have whatever it is, that you want or whatever. It's going to open that doorway, right? If you're constantly thinking of the things you lack, the universe responds with more lack, right? So energy attracts like energy. But even here with the Six of Swords, with this traveling and going to possibly even more calmer waters, right? It still talks about traveling just like this card here, right? Homeward traveler, completion, reunion, return. So it keeps talking about this travel, this going back to something, reuniting with certain people, or maybe careers or skills or something, right? Especially with the Unleash Your Creativity card here. And there are things that you will have to let go along the way, right? In order to settle in this this way of life, returning back to it, or starting this artistic journey, right? There are things that you will have to possibly sacrifice, but it will be better for you, because underneath the deck you have Three of Cups, right? A celebration with friends, or just maybe achievements, right? So there will be things that you will maybe have to sacrifice, maybe your time. Maybe you won't be able to hang out or play video games or have as much fun as you used to, because now you're more serious about this task at hand. But it will be beneficial for you in the long run. And with the King of Swords here, it's basically telling you to hone down, to focus on the matter at hand, right? Because the swords is all about thoughts and mentality, right? So you need to have that clear focus, right? A clear focus in order to get to where you need to go. Grounded, keep to your roots and stand taller than the trees. So this kind of feels like it's saying roots could be family, right? Maybe you abandoned your family. Maybe you need to go back and maybe repair the damages that were there. Maybe talk to them. If there's this dysfunctional sort of aspect about your family, try to talk to them, sit them down, talk to them and tell them what your life was like. And maybe, maybe they saw it differently, but it doesn't cancel out how you felt and what you went through and how you saw it, right? So maybe there's this sort of therapy session that needs to happen in order for everything to settle and for you to see both sides of the story, right? Don't just focus on how it was for you. Try to see it from their point of view in order to maybe understand where they were coming from and for them to understand where you're coming from, right? So you need to go back to your roots. Maybe you've learned something along the way that will now be beneficial for you to go back to your roots and to maybe make a better change, to repair damages, right? With the Grounded card, it also seems with this Unleash Creativity card that it's possible that you need to go back to what you're actually passionate about. For whatever you're spending your time on, maybe it's not beneficial for you because you have certain skills and talents you were born with that you seem to have abandoned. And this message seems to be coming through almost every reading I've done recently. It seems like the universe wants people in general to go back to what they're truly skilled and talented at, because you're born with this for a reason. You're born to change this world with those talents and skills. Okay, what were you happy doing? What were you born with that was so natural to you? Even if you have to learn to get better at it, to be more professional at it, but it's still something that is so natural to you, that was like a calling to you, okay? So it feels like you need to go back to that. Even if it's a longer road, even if it takes longer to create maybe finances out of it, right? To get paid with it, but it's going to be worth it in the end, because anything that takes time is going to be, more quality than something that you get quick money with, because that money is going to go fast and you don't even feel the value of it because of how easy you get it, right? But when things take time, then you see the value of what you have earned, because you have done the work. It took time, it took patience, it took maybe blood, sweat, and tears, but you done it and you feel more value. And then you're not going to spend money on crap that you don't need, on things that will just end up, in landfills. You're going to take your time to actually, be more conscious of where you spend your money, how you spend your money. So I really hope that this helps you. Maybe this is the guidance you needed. Maybe this is a sign you needed. Maybe some of you had doubts and thought, should I, shouldn't I? And maybe this now has solved this issue for you. So just, if the universe is telling you that it believes in you, for this message to come through for this group, and you chose this group, then maybe it's a sign that you need to believe in yourself more. So I really wish you guys luck, and I hope that you become more grounded and truly work on those talents and skills that have been so naturally ingrained in you from the start, from your birth. And don't be afraid to play with life a little. Just because it seems like a risk, it could be a very big learning lesson, like technically we never fail, right? Because even when we think we fail, it's a learning lesson and we now know what not to do, right? So just believe in yourself. Let your intuition guide you. If you feel that there's something there, follow it. Go with it. Okay, so that's all I have for you, Group 1. If you enjoyed this reading, please leave a like. Don't forget to comment and tell me, how this resonated, and if you have any questions regarding, anything that you want to know more. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon so that you're always updated with every new reading and artwork that I do. So I'll see you guys next time. Hello Group 2, and welcome to your reading. So let's see what messages are here for you. Oh, this is interesting. You got the seer, future prospects, decisions to make, seeking guidance. So something about the future. But then you got the gift, present, honoring, offering. So you got something about the future and something about the present. Okay. So for you guys, it sort of seems, considering you have the entrapment card, I can see the seeking guidance here is part of it. So for the time being, your message is about healing, right? A time for healing with this moon card. It feels like some of you keep wondering what your future may be like, because maybe in the present you feel stuck in some way, in whatever aspect of your life, right? This could be in a relationship, in a job, at home, with family, with maybe even a certain friend group, whatever aspect of your life. Maybe even if you're working on something, just feeling stuck, like as if you can't resolve it, right? There's no solution for it. But there always is a solution. You always have opportunities and choices. Even when it feels like you don't have any, you do. You just might not like the choices that are present to you, right? Like leaving a job or a relationship, especially if it's toxic. Maybe you're scared and you think that you might not find anything else out there, right? Maybe you think this is the only thing there is for me. Maybe everything else is taken, but that is your fear speaking, right? The universe always has your back. Even when things feel like it's hopeless, right? Like you're going to you're just going to fail at life, right? You won't get anywhere. But that isn't true. Your story, everyone's story isn't going to be similar, right? If you imagine life as a movie, we're all playing a part, right? So the universe is the universe is not going to allow you to fail because you have a mission. Every one of us has a mission to fulfill in this story of this life, right? If you're living, then you're creating this story and you have a purpose in it. So even if the choices you have are scary, what if choosing that option takes you on a bigger adventure or creates a happier life than what you have now, right? So you won't know unless you actually go for it. It sort of feels like in your present moment you have a guide or guidance of someone that is there with you, trying to console you, trying to comfort you, trying to guide you. But because of your fear, you're preventing them from doing so. So you're constantly in this state of mind where you want things to change and you're maybe sad and depressed and just, you feel stuck, but you're not allowing them to change because you keep dwelling on where you are now and how this is just gonna keep continuing, right? But the fact that you're watching this feels like you are asking for guidance, right? And I can't speak of, what you can do because I don't know what aspect of your life this is. You can get a personal reading so I can, guide you more personally and tell you a message that's exactly for you and only for you, right? So this is a general message. But it just feels like right now, what the universe or your guides or your ancestors want to tell you is that you need a time to cleanse, a time to heal, a time to yourself, a time to reflect, right? That's what you need. You need a moment of reflection to think about where you are and where you want to be and the steps of how you can get there. Sometimes the choices that you'll have to make may be hard, may be scary or risky, but you need to do what is beneficial in order for you to thrive, okay? Don't just think about your feelings because feelings come and go, right? You can feel whatever you want at any time. You can choose to feel how you want to feel. We're talking about what is beneficial for you to thrive in an environment, to be at your best. Okay, that's what we're looking at here. So let's see what other messages we get. So you're not seeing something. It's like you need to decide on a path, but you seem to be unaware of the choices that you do have. Yeah, you're afraid also to possibly commit to something. Maybe you do have an idea of what you want, but you're afraid to commit to the idea, right? Because of this fear. Where does this lead? But there is a huge potential for you with the Page of Cups. There's a huge potential for you to actually get somewhere better with this, to change what your life looks like currently. Yeah, a balance has to be made, and you have the death card, so something, yeah, with the Eight of Cups, you need to walk away from something, okay? I don't know if you can see that. Eight of Cups and death. So the death card doesn't have to represent actual death, okay? No one's gonna die. But with the Page of Cups and the death, something that is very hard to let go of. This isn't an easy thing. The Eight of Cups is a very intense card where this isn't something easy to just walk away from. This is something that may have been building for so long and that you're so used to and you're so scared of walking away from it. And not just scared, but maybe worried, maybe it's just an intense sort of feeling, very, very emotional. But you need to let this go for your own benefit, for your own life to change, to look different, to, refresh it a little, to rejuvenate yourself and what your life looks like. You need to let this go. It needs to die off. Because by not cutting this out of your life, whatever this is, it could even be substance abuse. By not cutting this out, it's possible that you just spiral and that you never get to thrive. And that would be a waste of a life because you're created for so much more than where you are now. You have to think about your future, about what decisions to make in order to thrive. And you do have decisions, you have solutions too. With the Two of Swords, there are choices for you to choose. But it just seems like you think there aren't because you're scared of walking away. You're scared of cutting that thing out of your life. It's like Stockholm Syndrome. You're so used to it that maybe you keep holding on to it because it's the only thing you know. But out there is something so much better. And when you try that thing that's so much better, when you try a life that enables you to thrive, to grow, to advance, you're going to see that the thing you left behind was worth leaving behind. That what you thought was awesome and the only thing that exists for you, you're going to see that it was pathetic. And it was so low vibrational that what you have, going on with this future of yours is going to be so much better. So you just need to make the effort. Wow, and you guys too also have Three of Cups under the deck. Group 1 had this also. So all these changes lead to something better, to a celebration, to happiness. But it still requires work, right? Because the number 3 is a low number. It's not number 10. So it's going to be a temporary happiness, but you can build on top of that. Okay, you guys gotta reconnect. Secrets lurk in the captive shadows deep in the woods. So what do you need to reconnect with? Maybe if this was a toxic relationship, whether it was friendship or romantic or however, even if it's family related, maybe whoever this is has disconnected you from people who actually loved you and supported you. So maybe it's time to reconnect with them. Okay, don't be scared. Even if it's been years that they haven't seen you, I promise you they're still going to love you. They still hold a candle for you in their heart. So it's time to reconnect with them. Seek help if you need to. Okay, but you need to move on. Let this toxicity go in order to better yourself in your life. And I promise you, if a elder woman, I've seen a lot of these stories in previous years where someone in their 60s or 70s is getting married, then don't think that it's too late for you, that there is no option for you, that there is no better life for you, because that is false. If you're still existing and living in this life, no matter how old you are, better is still possible. Okay? So that's all I have for you, Group 2. If you enjoyed this reading, please leave a like and comment down below. Tell me how it resonated, if you have any questions, and if you have any suggestions for future readings. Also, don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell, in order to be updated with new readings as well as new art. So see you guys in the next one. Hello, Group 3, and welcome to your reading. So let's see what messages you get. Okay, with these cards, it feels like the message here is that some of you may have had this victim consciousness where you're always thinking, poor me, why does this happen to me? And you're always thinking of what you lack. But with this Temple of Dreams here, and the Moon card of you and your loved ones are safe, it feels like you actually have it pretty good. Not everything in your life is negative or lacking. I mean, I'm pretty sure that everyone in this life has something they lack, right? There's always something missing, something you want or need in life. But when you step back and look at the bigger picture of everything that you do have, you'll see that you actually are pretty lucky in some areas, right? So you need to stop with the victim consciousness and understand that you're okay, that you're fine, you're alive, right? That's a bonus. Are you healthy? And if there are illnesses, what other areas can you feel blessed for, right? Just being in that grateful mentality can do so much for your mental health, for your well-being. Are you someone that constantly thinks negatively and finds yourself constantly with a cold or a flu or in bed all the time or feeling crappy? Maybe it's your thoughts. Maybe you are doing this to yourself and creating these experiences, right? Because how you perceive life is how you experience it. So if you're always in that woe me sort of mentality, then the universe is going to give you experiences and opportunities to continue experiencing life in a victim state of mind, in a victim lifestyle. Maybe you'll find yourself constantly getting hurt, bumping into things, someone leaving you, abandoning you, cheating on you, triggering you in some way. But maybe it's this victim consciousness that's the problem. You're constantly thinking negatively about yourself, about life, about things around you, and that's why, like a magnet, you're pulling more of that in. Okay? The new moon in Cancer. Cancer is a very emotional sign. You need to stop with the drama. Okay? This is going to be harsh, but I'm not going to sugarcoat this for you. Tarot reading isn't about giving you what you want to hear, it's giving you what you need to hear in order to improve your life, in order to be better, to grow, to advance. You need to stop the drama. You need to stop constantly looking for compliments or looking for pity or, for people to care or think about you, that first person mentality where you're the main character of this life. No, you're the main character in your story, but not in everyone else's life. Everyone is the main character in their own life. So you need to respect that other people don't owe you things. Okay, you gotta step it up. You gotta make the change. And you can easily make the change just by thinking differently. Your thoughts, your words, and your deeds, all of these things ripple out and then come back to you. So whatever comes out of you, not just in behavior, not just in words, but even what you think, even that is a frequency that, like a signal, goes out like Wi-Fi and comes back to you threefold, right? So try to think more positively. It just feels like you're blessed with a lot of things that you don't seem grateful for, or that you don't see because you're constantly thinking of what you're lacking and what you need and don't have. So some of you, you have to make a choice of what you're going to do, because it's possible that with your outlook on life, it's possible that you may be sabotaging even partnerships that you have, right? It's time to rest and reflect. Yeah, it's time to rest and reflect, and you do have help. There are other people that are willing to help you, but you just have to step out of this mind state, this feeling like a victim constantly, right? It creates negativity, and your friends may not be willing to even want to help you because of that. With the Hermit card and the Eight of Wands, it feels like you need to be on your own currently, especially also with the Four of Wands. It's like you need to be on your own for a while to just reflect and think about what's important to you, what you're grateful for, how do you want your life to look like. Because there are possibilities and options, and it feels like you need to get away for a while. I feel like you need to look for a place that you feel safe, because this victim mentality isn't something you're born with. It's something that comes from something that maybe happened to you that requires some patience, some time and healing with yourself. You need to find a safe place for you to just feel comfortable and relaxed at, and just take a moment to breathe, to reflect, to rest a little, in order to understand what your next steps should be. Renew. Nature continuously renews itself year after year. So this is perfect, right? Because a new year is coming, and now it's your turn, right, to renew yourself. That whole what is a new year, new me mentality, that's what we need right now. Okay, so take the steps to really refresh your life a little. Maybe do some winter cleaning, right? Purge what you don't need, what doesn't suit you. Be grateful for what you have. Heal. Go to therapy if you need to. There's no shame in that. People go to therapy um, just to organize their thoughts, right? Therapy isn't about, you being crazy or anything. People go to therapy for all kinds of different reasons, so there's no shame in it. Find a good therapist, someone you can speak to, or even a friend or someone to just organize your thoughts with, or even journal. Write your thoughts down, how you feel, what you want your life to look at, and then take a rest, and after a day or two, read that entry and maybe find steps of how to get there. So try to gain a new perspective. Try to think of life differently. See things differently. Try to see the beauty in life, even in hard situations. Always trying to see a blessing. Always try to see the good in it. Okay? If maybe you prefer sunny days and it's constantly cloudy, go for a walk and try to find the beauty. Maybe there's a pretty flower outside, even if it's winter time. So always try to see the beauty in anything. Everywhere you go, at least try to see one thing that you find beautiful. And don't constantly look at the things you always look at. Try to look at things in between, in smaller spaces. Look at the ground, or on the patch of grass you come across, or the tree you come across. Maybe there are buds growing because it's a little warmer than usual, or always try to find the beauty in something. Get out of that victim consciousness and try to heal through nature and what you see around you. Okay, so remember to renew, okay? Work on this. Technically, the new year is in spring, so you still have time to just get into this and heal yourself. Take a rest and, reflect a little. Spend some time with yourself. Pamper yourself, to have a spa day in your own bathroom and just reflect and rejuvenate yourself. Okay? So that's all I have for you, Group 3. I hope you enjoyed this reading. Don't forget to leave a like if you enjoyed it. Comment below, tell me how this resonated, if you have any suggestions or questions. And subscribe, hit the bell in order to be updated with future readings as well as art videos. And I'll see you guys next time.